Good morning, you guys. Happy early morning. Welcome to the White Oak Barn. Welcome back. So, we wanted to give you a little bit of a recap today on some things that we worked on yesterday as far as emergency preparedness and canning. If you look over here to the right real quick with me, we have some things that we have completed here. We have jarred pears, pear halves, okay? So, and we also have split pea soup. In preparing our pears, we just did a simple syrup, which is just basically sugar and water. You can make a light syrup or a heavy syrup or even a medium syrup. It's just completely up to your taste. It's basically hot water, sugar. You boil it for a little bit of time, and then you add that to your pears, your pear halves that are prepared here. Then we also did a split pea soup. This is actually split pea and bacon. Came out really delicious and really good. I added a little bit of nutmeg because nutmegs tend to do really well in soups. So we had nutmeg, salt, pepper, a little bit of onion powder, and a little bit of garlic powder. And then we also added some onions. So we threw in some fresh onions, reduced that down. And we also incorporated blending it. Some people like their split pea soup to be whole. I prefer to blend it and have a little pieces of the split pea still in there. So that's our split pea soup. Remember how I was telling you that there's quite a few things that can be pressure canned. This is one of them. Over here we also have some green beans that we did also. This is a fresh can of whole green beans. Okay, so you can do vegetables for your family. These are really healthy things that you can do. We also have some carrots here, whole baby carrots that have been canned and preserved. Guys, this is so super important. This is emergency and in-time preparedness. So remember, you're putting away things for yourself and your family. Okay, so these are things that could really, really come to help you later on. These are things that can last you up to a year. Preserves, the things that we do with our jams, our jellies and preserves, these are things that can last you even over a year. Real important stuff here, guys. Okay? Canning and preserving. So we've got our pears, our carrots and green beans, and we have some
pear jam too. You have pear preserves.
Yes, we also have pear preserves as well. Yes, we do. We have pear preserves. This, however, is not a pear preserve. This is just canned whole fruit. This is just whole fruit. That's what that is. You know, this has not been made into a preserve or a jam. So there's a difference with that. So now early this morning, starting off on this morning, I want to wish my husband a happy birthday, 4/1 on this morning, right? So blessed to see it again. So we're going to be, just send him all of your blessings and your happy birthdays, you guys. He is 41 today, looking fabulous and wonderful. Okay? And, okay, you guys. I messed up. He's mad at me for telling his age. I'm sorry. I apologize about that. But come on and let's look at what we've got going on today. So we're doing apricot jam on today. Apricot jam is one of the classic flavors that people love. Here we have some freshly halved apricots that I've already prepped and prepared. A really good way to, a quick way to get the seed out of the middle of a fruit would just be to slice it in half all around like an equator. And then what you want to do is you want to twist the two halves. And when you twist them, it'll open right up. Same thing works with avocado. So you just make a cut all the way around the fruit, and then you twist the two halves counterclockwise to each other. And then you just open it, and then you can remove the seed from outside. So that way you don't make a big mess trying to get the seed out. So that is our beautiful apricots that have been soaking in water. I'm going to add some lemon to our water here. Lemon is an excellent complement to fruits. It tends to bring out the flavor in fruits, and it also enhances, it cuts through some of the sweetness in your fruit. So we're going to be adding lemon to that. Okay. And then in addition to that, we're going to also we're going to do our sugar. So we're adding a little bit of lemon. I may also add some fresh lemon also to that as well. So we're going to cut a fresh lemon, okay? And with that, do that, okay? I'll reach for my knives over here, you guys. Serrated is best. So we're going to cut this in half. Okay. Sometimes working with wedges are a little bit easier when you try to cut. So we're going to do this. And sometimes you can use your hand here to try to catch some of the seeds rather than let them fall in there, and then you have to try to fish them out later. So that's kind of just like a little word. But this is just going to add to the flavor, and this is also going to help with cutting through the sweetness, okay? So this just adds a wonderful zing and a wonderful brightness. So now that we've got some lemon, we're also going to add our sugar now. So we're going to do that. We'll add our sugar. And here we probably have about a half a cup still left. Honey, can you hand me that sugar in there?
Sure.
So I'm going to add that. That one here. Yeah. Alright. We're going to open up our new sugar. And I tend to just open up by the bag. Oh, and the scissors too, right here. Thank you so much. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to refill our sugar jar. And I prefer to just fill up the sugar jar because for me it just kind of makes it easier when I'm working with my cups. Give that back to you. Okay, and then if you could do me one more favor, sweetheart, you could hand me one of the measuring cups in there. The cup, 1 cup. That one's a cup and a half. Perfect. So we have a cup of sugar. This is quite a few apricots, so this should yield us a few jars of apricot jam. So we're going to add another cup of sugar. And as my rule of thumb, and I remember telling you guys about that, I tend to start off with at least 2 cups of sugar just to start off with. And then as I cook the fruit down and do like my taste test, I'll taste test it and see where the sugar level is. If it needs more sugar at that point, then I'll add it. Just remember, that's, you know, when you're doing jams and things like that, sugar is your most important ingredient. So
why is that?
Because sugar also helps with the jamming process, believe it or not. Sugar thickens when you cook it. If you notice, have you ever noticed, like when you add sugar to water when you make a syrup, remember how I talked about the simple sugar, simple syrup that you can use in order to can fresh fruits? That's essentially what a simple sugar is. It's just sugar and water. So you just add sugar to your water, and as you heat it, what will happen is the sugar will start to thicken up. So that's the same thing. So it's a real important process to your jam. It helps with the thickening process. So now that we have all the sugar incorporated in, we are going to let our apricots cook down. You know what? I'm also thinking I may add a little bit of nutmeg. What do you think?
I think it'll give it another dimension.
Yeah. I think we might add a little bit of nutmeg. Just a little spice to it. What you think, you guys? Just a little bit of spice. Yeah. I think we'll add a bit of nutmeg to that.
You touch this. Oh.
Are you singing MC Hammer?
Yeah.
Is that what mood we're in today? Is that how we feeling?
Yes.
So we just added a little bit, not a whole lot of nutmeg. If you remember me telling you earlier, I added a dash of nutmeg to my split pea soup. Nutmeg is one of those spices that doesn't necessarily always have to be used in like pies and things like that. You can also add nutmeg to savory dishes like that, like the soup that I just made. So it's it's one of those spices that can be also used in savory dishes.
Like that. What's that? The split pea
Split
soup.
pea soup. The split pea soup. So this was one of the items. Like, for example, nutmegs work really well in soups, so you can also use that in there. That will be a savory. So a savory dish or a fruit dish you can use it in. So now that we've got our ingredients, the start of it, we've got everything incorporated. So now we're just going to allow for this to cook down. We're going to let it reduce down. Okay, and then the next time when you guys join us, we'll be able to show you the finished product of our apricot jam. We'll have more to come. We love you guys, and thank you so much for tuning in to the White Oak Barn.